Just when we thought everything was back to normal, we have a sudden spike in the number of COVID 19 cases. Again, why do you think this is happening? Let us take a few scenarios to understand this better. Hope Haven, an imaginary island surrounded by crystal blue water. Our friend Jack has just returned home to Hope Haven after his world tour and he has been infected with the novel coronavirus. This vicious virus, like all viruses, multiplies inside the human body and is transmitted from person to person. Who would have thought that creatures which are not even visible to our naked eye could be so lethal? So what does this virus mean for the Hope Haven? Well, let's consider this. Jack interacts with 4 people on one day and all of them get infected, and on the next day each of these 4 people interact with the 4 more people who in turn also get infected. So what will happen if this trend continues? Every day on the nth day the number of infected people will be increased on the earth, and people will be 4 into 4 into 4 into n times, which is 4 to the power of n people will be infected, and the graph will be growing on every day. Till the 10th day, 4 to the power 10 people would have been infected, which is just over 1 million. In other words, this virus needs only 10 days to spread from 1 to 1 million people. It's like a scene from a zombie movie. While this number is shocking, how many days do you think it took to infect 1/4 of the population, or 250,000 people? A quarter of the population was infected. At the end of the day, 9, and it just took one more day to infect the remaining 750,000 healthy people. It's like one day hardly anyone's infected, but the next moment everyone's down as cases rise. There are more and more infected people spreading the virus till all of a sudden it explodes. This rapid increase in the number, it is called exponential growth. Wait, where have I seen this before? Alright, now let's add some more variables to our situation here. Let us assume that only 3 out of the 4 people got infected and not all 4. Let's see what happens. One day, Jack interacts 3 people, each of whom infects 3 other people on the next day, and so on. With this trend continues, the number of people infected on the nth day will be 3 to the power of n. Once again, the entire population of 1 million will still get infected, but there is one difference. The curve is somewhat flatter. Flattering the curve implies that the rate of growth of the case is not as high it was in the previous situation. This time, on the 10th day, Hope Haven will have about 50,000 cases as compared to 1 million earlier. And that's a huge difference. Okay, but there is a little more to this virus's graphs. As more and more people contacts the virus, there are fewer and fewer healthy people left to get infected, so the graph does not rise endlessly. Instead, it begins to plateau. You may have seen this S-shaped curve known as a sigmoid curve. This stays in the news. Now let's introduce some more variables into our simulation. As the number of cases start climbing, fear sets in. The governments impose lockdowns, people either stay indoors or start wearing a mask in the public and start maintaining social distance. Infected patients are quarantined to restrict the spread of the virus. Also, some people who were infected with the virus in the beginning may start to develop protect antibodies. All this means that the infection rate decreases and the graph begins to decline. Horror! If you observe closely, this graph now looks like a wave. There is an incline, a flat section, and there is a decline. How low to peak and back to low. Again, in our situation, this seems as though the virus has been defeated. Time to celebrate, or is it really according to a study or human behavior? It's observed that when safety measures are mandated, people's prescription or risk decreases, making them to take riskier decisions. This is known as the plus-man effect. As soon as the laws were made a bit latent, public places are started opening up like gyms, theaters, etc. Gatherings almost among the people increased. They stopped wearing masks, starting to take things a little casually, and the old cycle started all over again. This phase is what we call the lack of fear, and perhaps what we need to fear is this lack of fear. If history has taught us something, it has history repeats itself, and sometimes the second wave can be fierce deeper than the first one. Okay, but does this mean COVID-19 is going to stay forever? No, we have to discode what might be the magic potion. Vaccines, even though a mass vaccination may take years, but they may be our only hope to end this pandemic. But remember how one person can infect an entire city of 10 lakh people in 10 days. Be the change. If you want to see in the world, stay indoors in your homes as much as possible. Put on your masks, maintain a safe social distance, but do sociality connects with us. So this is the video of COVID-19, why the pandemics are increasing and the second waves is increasing. So if you like this video, share to many people, and this will create a knowledge among the people. Thanks for watching. Stay home, stay safe, wear mask if you go outside. Thank you. Have a great day.